Alrighty, check, 1, 2, check. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Another day, another Sunday, another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, one and only AfroMattt. And I mean, let's just get into it. Actually, I guess this was a St. Patrick's Day episode, so this will be the St. Paddy's Day episode. As an Irish blood man, I think I tweeted this too, that I think that we should get a month, sort of like Black History Month. I mean, Irish people were slaves too. I think March should be Irish History Month. And honestly, I don't know much about Ireland or Irish people in general or their past. I just know that a lot of them died in some famine or something. I know that they were like under British rule or something like that, and they all died. Like a ton of them died, something like that. But now they all just get drunk and I guess suppress childhood trauma is like the main thing Irish people are known for now. So yeah, St. Patrick's Day, big news. Okay, let's just. I really don't care about St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to start this episode off with some actual good news here. We've got some good news coming from. Let's see, across the ocean here. Let's see what's going on.
Tonight, chaos in the streets of France for the third night in a row, with police making dozens of arrests. Earlier in the day, activists posting videos of protesters storming through a major shopping center. And throughout France, clashes with police. Last night in Lyon, protesters ransacked the town hall, smashing storefront windows. Police are trying to block off streets to try and corral the crowd, but you can already see dumpster fires already happening, debris all in the grass here, and you can still smell that there's tear gas in the air. French people angry after President Emmanuel Macron forced through a pension reform bill without a vote, increasing the retirement age from 62 to 64.
So that's only 2 years. So they increased. So apparently, what she just said was their president, dictator. I don't know how they do things, if they're able to just like do it automatically, but and it looks like everyone in parliament is like not agreeing with them. So I don't know how their whole political system works, but they forced through something that said, hey, instead of retiring at age 64 or at age 62, now you have to retire at age 64. So this is what's happening after just 2 years. This is, imagine imagine what would have happened if they had done like, oh, now you can't retire until you're 72. They did 10 years. France might just like, the borders of it just pops out and just drifts into the ocean.
Frustration fueling strikes, airline to railway service disrupted,
Jesus.
Garbage piling up.
Why is 62 to 64 a big deal? To be able to work and as
To
well
be
to
able
have
to
a
work.
proper life and good health.
She's talking about a quintessential French value of work-life balance, and French citizens say they pay more in taxes than most, so the return, an early retirement. But Macron and his
That's a good,
supporters say with a lower birth rate and people living longer, the pension program is in jeopardy of running a deficit. Now this hallmark
okay, look, dude, and this is gonna come to America. I mean, we don't really have a time when you actually are allowed. Like, we don't have a set time. Like, I've told the story before of the lady that used to work at Home Depot with me, who was like, I don't know, like 80. She was like literally 80. She couldn't retire. So I don't know if we have anything in place like Paris where, I think if America said, hey, guys, you have to retire at 64, I think that would be actually good news in America. That's the state of affairs here across the pond, where retiring at 64 is a good thing. That's like, Oh, nice. Now I get to I'm not senile when I finally get to see my family again. When I get time away from work to see my and this lady, this girl at Home Depot was really chill. She was super chill, but it was it was tough work. She was constantly in pain all the time. Like I don't know if she had something wrong with her back or something. But she would like go away on doctor appointments and then for like maybe a week and then come back to work and work like grueling hours. Like I would work 8 hours and I would leave and she would like still be there. I'm like, oh, we came in on the same. I would actually come in on my time, work 8 hours, and she would be there when I show up, and she would be there still when I left. Like I'm like, do you like? She lived there. And she was like 80, probably 80 years old. I don't even know if she drove to Home Depot. I think that someone dropped her off. The retirement home bus drops off people to go to work. I wouldn't even be that surprised, honestly. It's just a funny thought, like a retirement bus. You know, you see the retirement bus sometimes get dropped off at like botanical gardens and stuff to look at the butterflies and flowers, but just to drop off them for work, their shifts. Oh, that would be so funny. All right, Gertrude, what's your shift today so we know when to pick you up? Okay, we'll be there at 5:15. Don't worry. Make sure that you go to the bathroom before you get on the bus because it's a long trip back. We're going to be taking the highway. Oh, no, don't worry. Yeah, no. Never mind. I don't even know. We're not even 5 minutes. I was going to say, I was going to go into a joke where Gertrude's actually racist and she doesn't want a black bus driver, but it's we're past that point. Okay. So yeah, France in turmoil here.
French life hangs with the opposition, who will hold a vote of no confidence in the coming days that could collapse Macron's government and overturn the bill.
A vote from
Collapse
lawmakers
the
could come
government?
as soon as tomorrow or Monday, but these protesters say they're not letting up. In fact,
So
a
this was
national
22
strike
hours
is
ago.
scheduled for Thursday. Jose?
How can you schedule strikes?
Thanks for watching our...
Thanks for watching. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, France is in turmoil. I do the French. I'm French. A baguette. A oui.
After President Emmanuel Macron.
The French people are always they're a little entitled. It's a little entitled to be upset over 2 years. Hey guys, retirement at 64 is. I mean, it's a privilege to retire at 64. They're upset over 2 years. Come on. Let's see. Let's move on. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget to play the music for the news segment? So every time we start this podcast, if you're new here, oh my God. Okay. So if you're new here, we always start with a little bit of news, and we go into TikToks and have fun in between. The news segment. It's the news. Coming to you live, the news. All right, so yeah, we already got so far in the world. Here's what we got, and this is like what's going on. So we've got SVB Bank blowing up, literally blowing up. Someone drove a bus full of explosives into SVB Bank, and it is now seized by the government. SVB Bank is collapsed. There is president. A second plane has crashed into the SVB Bank. I love that photo of George Bush where he's just staring blankly ahead when his Secret Service man's whispering in his ear that a second plane has hit the World Trade Center. His face is just like, all right, I'll be back. He's just reading to kids. And he's like, all right, can we watch that? Can we watch that moment? This is me every minute. Let's see. George Bush, 9/11. Okay. Is this the moment? I want to see the moment. Okay, here it is.
And I literally
No. Oh, god damn it. 9/11 kids. Okay. Oh, is this the can I have just the raw footage? Oh, here we go.
It's really exciting for me to be here. I want to thank Miss Daniels for being a teacher. I want to thank Wim for being a principal.
I want to thank Wims for being a teacher. Here he is.
Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 150.
Open your book to page 60. Secret Service man steps over, whispers in his ear. Lots of photos there. Now he's staring straight ahead.
At the count of 3, everyone should be on your desk. Pick your reader up from under your seat. Open your book up to lesson 60.
Now he has to pretend to be interested in this after he found out that the World Trade Center has been hit a second time. So SVB Bank hit a second time by a plane. And I guess I think with SVB Bank, we talked about it last time. They were bought out, or I guess they were bailed out by the Fed. They were being run completely by the Fed, which I assume means that they were bailed out by the Fed. The Fed came in, fired all the heads of whatever department, the heads of marketing department. Do you think someone had a day in the life of an SVB banker, like marketing manager, like on TikTok? That might be a good sketch. A good sketch in the idea. A day in the life of an SVB. What would be funny? Like a risk management. SVB bank risk management. The day in the life of an SVB bank risk manager. So I always start my day with a nice cup of coffee from the tap. We have coffee on tap in the break room. We have Starbucks on tap in the break room. I always get mine with extra cream. And then after that, I like to go to the nap room, because the nap room is, I'm starting my day with a really stressful meeting, so I want to sleep before my meeting because it's going to be very stressful. After that, I like to go to lunch because it's usually about lunchtime, and then I have my meeting, and then I go work out and I go home. That's usually like the videos, like the my day in the life of. We've already watched all those, like all the day in the life videos. They're so funny. They're funny because COVID times, everyone had so much bloated money. Everyone was so bloated with money that they literally were paying people to do nothing all day long. People would show up to work and be like, "Hey, I don't really even know what I do here, but you guys pay me, so I'm just gonna hang around the cafe if that's chill." They're like, "Yeah, dude, yeah, okay, dude, we don't care." It's like you're talking to your manager, like, "So did you want me to like do something today, or am I good to just like chill in the cafe and hang out?" He's like, "Hey, buddy, I make so much money, I don't have time even to talk to you. Who are you? Go look like you're busy or something." I just imagine those guys are just so, like, everyone was so rich during COVID that they just had like fuck you money. But now reality's crashing down. Turns out giving away a massive amount of free money to everyone, and giving fake jobs to people that are functionally almost retarded, who I guess got through college, is their only accomplishment on their resume is I attended a college. They didn't even really do well. They're like a bro or something. It's like somehow they got like an in with one of the homies from the frat is working at SVB Bank, and then they're like, "Hey man, yo, you gotta come in, dude. They're just printing money. We're actually just printing money here." So yeah, COVID times kind of really rose-colored glasses. Every investment was a good investment. Everyone became some sort of like, not even a Warren Buffett. Everyone became, because Warren Buffett is too long-term. Warren Buffett's way too long-term. Everyone in the world became some sort of like crypto guru, investment guru. They're like, hey man, I'm a genius. You got to do this. I was at Christmas. This is okay. Now this is a personal. Literally, I was at Christmas, and my girlfriend's family's from California. One of them came into town. I think it's her uncle or something, or cousin, I think, or something. And they come in. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm and of course he's from California, so he's like, hey man, yeah, you got to get into crypto. He bought crypto for all the kids for their Christmas presents, right? He's like, all right, now everyone, for Christmas, here's what we're going to do. Everyone download the Coinbase app. I'm just going to give everyone $50 of whatever coin, like, cum coin shit, like shit rocket, or whatever coin was, the Shibu Inu or whatever. He's like, and guys, when this goes up, we're all gonna be millionaires. And I'm just sitting there kind of twiddling my phone. I had already sold last Christmas. I sold out. I sold out before Christmas. It's like the riskiest investment of my life. I could barely sleep some nights with that, just sitting in my crypto. I don't know. Like, I made like, okay, look, I made like $3,000, and that's not that much compared to what some people were doing with like the NFTs and stuff. But I could barely sleep with that, like, in my, just going up and down. And crypto market, it's not like stocks. It doesn't have a turn-off point, so it's always just going up and down. So you would wake up and you would be like, I just lost $500. There was one day where I literally went to sleep with $8,000. I woke up the next day with like $6,000, and I sold. But I'm like, yeah, it was, but it is what it is. But like, everyone, rose-colored glass, COVID times. So now people are coming to the realization that free money doesn't really exist. It's not good for anyone. Yes, it helped some people buy a lot more. I don't know. People went out to eat more, right? Everyone's like, yeah, dude, it freaking rocks to be it rocks right now to be a cash or whatever, a waiter or waitress. But now the reality's sinking in. Banks are literally closing. Like 2008. Everyone's like, oh no. This isn't like 2008. Don't even mention 2008. I was on a call. I was on a real estate call, and there's all these gurus, and they're like, no. This isn't like 2008. This is different, right? And it's always, this is different. This is never the same. Yeah, markets down 20%, 40% in most markets. Average day on markets going up. Average, the amount of realtors are the same. The amount of active listings are down year over year, 40%, nearly 50% in some spots. But yeah, no, this is different. This is actually different, right? So there's no collapse. There's no collapse coming. There's no bubble, right? There's no real estate bubble. Nothing bad's going to happen. Everything's just smile and nod. I feel like the crazy person. Actually, I feel like the crazy person, because I'll go into work and I'm like, I've been having trouble with, like, on Mondays we'll go in and we'll talk about things we're struggling with. This is what a realtors meeting is like. So we go around the circle and say, what are you struggling with? I'm like, well, I've been struggling with mindset. Oh, really, Matt? Why is that? I'm like, well, 2 major banks just collapsed and were bought out by the Fed. And I think that life for most people is going to change very soon. Well, you just have to do some more affirmations. So I've been working on my affirmations, doing my affirmations every day. I am successful, whatever you have to write it down 25 times or whatever. But I asked them at the meeting if I can do affirmations towards the world. The world is not bleak and imploding or something. But yeah, so I'm just along for the ride. I did my bank run. I did a little bit of a bank run. I wanted to hop in on the trend. I got out like, $1,200 cash. I stashed it, stashed it away. Not, God knows, not at this place. Stashed it away in the office for safekeeping. I feel like Walter White. You know how Walter White has like money hidden like in the floorboards and stuff, and he's got it buried out in the desert. I'm just gonna like start stashing cash in like random spots, like just dead drops, like put it in a plastic bag and like hide it in like a drain, like a water drainage chute or something. It's just like the craziest spots. But yeah, so I mean, it's all about positivity. You have to have a good mindset. And I really do feel like I'm the crazy one when I walk down the street. People aren't panicking. I'm like, people are just like going to work and like spending people are spending ridiculous amounts of money. Like sometimes, so my girlfriend DoorDash, and sometimes I'll DoorDash with her, and the amount of money people are spending is not good. It is not good for the future of whatever's happening. These people will be in bad shape. So you will go to the worst parts of the globe. This is middle America. People are like, it's bad, right? And you'll deliver like $100 worth of like chilies to a family with like a collective 5 teeth. Like not even like, it'll be like 6 kids. It'll be like a family of 6 with a collective 10 teeth, spread amongst them all. It's not good. It's not good for the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even claim to know what's going to happen. I just know that people are spending money like it's COVID, and not a lot of people have woke up to realize that COVID time's over. It's time to wake up. It's time to hide your money in your cushion again, and it's time to pray. A lot of people need to find Jesus. I don't need to find Jesus. Jesus left a long time ago. Realistically, Jesus left a long time ago, but whatever. Mary Krishna, Ari Krishna left a long time ago, and has left humanity to rot and like fester and eat itself. Like the world's just become like a self-eating, cannibalistic sort of society. We're not literally eating each other yet, but like, figuratively, we're eating each other. In one of our real estate meetings, they're like, every 2 extra homes you sell, you put someone out of business. And they're like, you should try to do 2 extra deals per year to put someone out of business. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Capitalism is badass. Yeah, you want to cut down the competition. You want to raise your market share. But then again, it's like these people exist. One, these people that you're putting out of business, they exist and they're actual people. 2, it's like that's the type of cannibalism I'm talking about. It's like just like munching and like eating like market share, and just it's like an unstoppable beast. You can't slow it down. You can't slow it down. Let me share this. Let me share this message my boss tweeted or sent out to the group. This is a good holler here. So this is from another real estate group out of British Virgin Isles. Oh no, that's where he's at. So this guy is in Boise, Idaho, and I think it's Hatch Realty if you want to look at him. But the stuff, okay, it was 49 minutes ago. The stuff we don't usually post. I'm finishing up a vacation of a lifetime with Emily. It has been tremendous. The British Virgin Isles are beyond stunning. So I post about it, and it would appear that everything is impeccable. Yet this trip is coming during a session of massive change in my business. If we didn't pay for the trip last year, we would have canceled. The market has been down mightily, and we have lost a number of agents from our team. Because of these two factors, we had to make 2 rounds of layoffs. I'm leasing/selling my office building to move into something smaller, and I feel a tremendous amount of guilt and shame around this. So everything feels uncertain, shaky, and stressful. Stress amplifies. You can't go home and not bring that with you. Yet I have to go through harder times, and I have gone through harder times in the past, and every time God's love and grace has poured down on me. Hard times are always going to happen, so there will be good times too. So as I wait here in line at the airport, I'm reminded to rejoice in the sunshine. Some days it really is easy to find. Other days feels dark. Yet the sun is still there, always. So that's a bit of a poetic thing sent to you from a CEO from the Virgin Isles. The Virgin Islands. Which coincidentally is where Jeffrey Epstein's island is. Not saying anything, just... I mean, it's not actually active anymore, but that's where it is. So my first thought is, at any time a massive amount of like layoffs happen, you always have to wonder, hey, did this person, was their first thought to lay off and like their first thought, is it so they get the news, they hear, oh, we're not doing very well. First thought, is it A, let's lay off, some staff, or is it B, let me take a personal pay cut and so that we can continue business? I think it's always laying off is usually their option. Because they have a certain quality of life to maintain, and God forbid they wouldn't want to go down in their quality of life. They can't sell the BM. You want this guy, CEO of Hatch Realty, to sell his Lambo, his BMW. God, what is his wife going to drive if he doesn't? He has to have the Lambo. He doesn't want to put too many miles on it. It's for weekends. So he has to have the BMW, right? That's his day-to-day. You can't show up to a closing. You can't show up to a closing in a BMW. You have to show up to the closing in the Lambo, right? Okay, so now we've established the Lambo is for closings and weekends, right? Day-to-day is the BMW. His wife has to drive the Hummer? Yes, we have 3 cars. But look... yes, the wife does have a Range Rover, but that's for groceries. It has more space in the back. It literally has more space in the back. Okay, so we've established day-to-day BMW. Lambo for closings. You want to show up good, right? And maybe showings. Show them around. Take them on a nice trip in that Lambo. Show them a good time. Bring that paperwork. Bring that pen. They'll sign it on the hood of the Lambo. Right? All right. And then the wife, yes, I know she has a Hummer and yes. And I know that we have a 5-car garage and a 6-bed, a 7-bed, 5-bath McMansion. But we can't look, we have to lay you off. I'm sorry. Now this hurts me more than it probably hurts you. I've known you for, maybe 6 months. And this hurts. This hurts a lot. But I can't take a decline in my. You think I want to go live in Poorville? You think I want to live like a brokey? You want to think I want to live like you? He's looking at him. He's like he spits on him in the break during firing him. Like if that millionaire, if he took the quality of life decline that is necessary for his business to stay supported. If he moved into a 2-bed, 2-bath, his kids started going, like I did when I was young. I shared a room with my brother my entire life, essentially my entire life. Once he was out of the crib, boys room. Yay, boys room. There was one time when I shared a room with 2 brothers, my older brother and my younger brother. The bunk bed shit. You have that bed that pulls the drawer out. There's a drawer, and in the drawer is another bed. So you put the kid in the drawer, slam it shut, the kid sleeps, and then the kid sleeps on top of that, and then and then there's like a kid in the closet. I mean, look, if that man, look, that CEO takes that life cut, he can support his business, right? But these people are greedy. It comes down to greed. They don't want to do it. They have a certain quality of life to maintain, and they just don't want to do it. They don't have the willpower to do it. They don't want to look weak in front of their family. They don't want to look weak in front of their peers. But you know what makes them feel strong? Firing half their workforce. And that's what happens. I mean, it's just what happens. And it's sad, it's gross, and it's cringe. You know what? That is cringe. You know what? Mass layoffs? That's cringe, dude. That's so cringe. I love that person. There's like a brand of person that's just like, you ask them an intense question and their response is, yeah, that's cringe. So what are your opinion on abortions? What are your opinions on people that are like pro-life? What do you think about these pro-life people? Like, they've got a couple good, like, when does life start? They're like, dude, that's cringe. And those people oftentimes are right. A lot of the times, those people, that's the correct opinion, is that's cringe. Having opinions about stuff now is like, it's cringe. And you've got to stop. You've got to have a major life-changing moment where you say, that's cringe. The people that just say that's cringe to everything, I think that they've just figured it out. They figured life out. Their lives are better than all of us. They are. I mean, I want to be that's cringe guy. DEEC. That's DEEC. Those guys who say DEEC. It's DEEC. You know, it's either cringe or DEEC. It's a simple life. It's a binary life. When things are boiled down to binary, they work so much better. Computers. Elevated human existence tenfold. Binary. Yes, 1 0. 1 0. Yes, no. If then. Binary. Cringe, DEEC. If something's good, it's decent. It's DEEC. If it's bad, cringe. It's cringe. Abortions, DEEC. Abortion, cringe. It's just, I'm gonna be. I think, and I can't really be that guy on the podcast. What would our podcast be about? What would I stand here? Sometimes I talk about things. I like over exaggerate how much of an opinion I have about things, but I can't just get on here and be like, just go down a list of. It's just literally a list of things going on in the world. I just go like, it's just a long list of just the news. SVB Bank, cringe. Paris Revolution, DEEC. Let's see, what is this? Man sues Buffalo Wild Wings, saying boneless wings are actually chicken wings. That's DEEC. Just go through it. It's DEEC or cringe. Oh God. A new class action lawsuit filed in Illinois, of course, alleges that chicken chain Buffalo Wild Wings is conducting deceptive business practices over claims that its boneless wings are actually just chicken nuggets. The name and description of the products, i.e. boneless wings, leaves reasonable customers believe that the products are taken actually from chicken wings. The lawsuit says, in other words, the products are chicken wings that have simply been deboned. Oh, they should be completely comprised of chicken wing meat, but they are not. Interesting. Boneless chicken wings. Yeah, because they are called boneless chicken wings, so that might get them in trouble, actually. Now, if they called it just boneless chicken, Yes, there are no bones in chicken nuggets, but they do call it boneless chicken wings, which could lead to some sort of thing. So they might have a case on that. I'll keep an eye on this very closely because I do like Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, it's not my first go-to. It's DEEC. But it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I mean, I hate it. I hate it. I hate things here. I hate things here on this planet. I hope every day I wake up like Metamorphosis as a bug. So I can just fly away, I'm just like drawn towards the light for some reason. I don't even know why I'm drawn towards the light. I'm just like fly around a light bulb. And then maybe I get stuck in a car and they roll the window down and I fly out during the highway and I'm like, whoa, I get spun around and I'm like a little bug and I'm like, whoa, man, I'm a bee, man. I want to be a bee. Just want to go pollinate some plants, make some honey, take turns running train on the queen. Bees have a pretty decent life. Bees are decent, to be honest. To be honest, bees have a pretty decent life. Oh, man. This world, I don't know if it's like... I know every single year everyone says, oh, we're the year where the world ends. The world's ending. The apocalypse is happening. Right now, we're in it. We're living through the apocalypse. Obama is the first, the mark of the beast. I remember when that was a thing. I was like 6, I think. They're like, he's actually a man. Or he's actually a woman and his wife's a man. So he's actually in a straight relationship, but they're both transgender. Obama was like, for a while, Obama was like literally the devil. He was like the mark of the beast just because I guess he was black. That'll get you there, though, for sure. But yeah, no, like every generation's like, oh, we're dying. We're the end of the world. Like, yes, we're not actually in war. Like, I can imagine thinking, oh, the world might end tomorrow during World War II because you're like, well, Russia has been on the moon. Russia's been like on Mars or whatever, or I don't know. They've been into space. Of course, they have nukes. We're working on our own nukes. We could be nuked any day now. You're living around. You're like, what? Like, how do those people find wills to live and whatnot? I don't know, but I just feel like we're living in a time that's so. It just feels like a timer has started sometime. I don't know when the timer is, but it feels like there's a ticking clock. Things are just getting like worse, progressively worse. And I know that's the kind of happy, jolly news that you tune in for the AfroMattt show. Happy, jolly news. Yo, I'm your host, Happy Jolly Matt, and today we have the news. No, it's like, I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? It's cringe. The world is cringe right now. You know, the one good thing that will come out of the world ending, and I mean this in a positive sense, is that once the world ends, people will stop caring about stupid bullshit like gender pronouns. All this freaking cringe shit we'll stop worrying about because people will be worried about survival, clean water sources. Like, you don't have to worry about when you're asking someone if you can borrow some water from their water filter. You don't have to worry about what gender you ask them as. Now, that's truly apocalyptic. If someone gets mad at you for misgendering them during the apocalypse, that is an apocalypse that I don't even want to live in, I think. Like, I'd be okay with an apocalypse where it's like raining ash. It's like a constant winter state. You never see the sun. But the second someone gets mad at me for like misgender, I'm going to I don't know. That's like the worst possible future of the world. Oh God. Oh God. You're traveling with like a gang of bandits. You're trying to like scavenge for good. You're trying to scavenge for medicine because you all have typhoid fever. And you come across someone and you're like, oh my God, it's a little girl. It's a girl. It's a woman. Hey you. Hey, do you have a group? Are you alone out here? And she's like, I heard you call me a woman. She just shakes her head. She just shakes her head at you during the apocalypse. Oh, that's so funny to me for some reason. It's like during the apocalypse, something so trivial. And the reason, and if it's funny to you too, it means that you really realize how stupid the whole pronoun thing is. It's cringe. It is cringe. It's just such a stupid debate. Just such a stupid debate. That one is one of the ones where saying it's cringe is literally probably the right way to go about that whole argument. No winners, no losers, just cringe. Participation, cringe. All right, let's continue on to the news here. What do we got going on? Arkansas news. Somehow Arkansas always ends up in the news for some weird thing. I forgot what it was last time, but this time it's rare Jurassic era giant insect discovered in a Walmart here in Arkansas. Back in 2012, entomologist Michael Scavera stopped at Walmart in Fayetteville, Arkansas to pick up some milk. On the way in, he spotted a large, unusual insect on the side of the building. So he snagged it, took it shopping, brought it home, and mounted it, thinking it was an antalion, a type of flying insect. Years later, he discovered it was something much rarer, an insect with an ancient history. So in 2020, he shared the personal insect collection with his students. Together, they worked to a new ID, which DNA analysis later confirmed. The results appeared that the study published. So, I mean, we have actual, like, here in Arkansas, we have new prehistoric bugs. That's pretty badass. This is a story. Oh, this was definitely written by an AI. This is a story of rediscovery, but also one about the joys of science. Penn State entomology doctoral student Cody Mathis remembers the class and process of identification, saying, "It was so gratifying to know that the excitement doesn't dim, the wonder isn't lost. Here we were, making a true discovery in the middle of an online lab course." So that's fun. Arkansas, making the news. Don't know why this was posted March 1st of 2023, but we're on the map. Every time a little bit of Arkansas news, we're on the map. We're always like kind of the worst things. Oh, this is kind of cool news here. Toxic forever chemicals found in toilet paper around the world. Research finds waste flushed down toilets and sent into sewage plants probably responsible for a significant source of water pollution. Huh. All toilet paper from across the globe checked for toxic forever chemicals contain the compounds and waste flushed down the toilets and sent into sewage probably creates a significant source of pollution. Okay, nice. So we're literally wiping our ass with chemicals. I mean, that's a good, like, I'm pretty sure that the asshole is have you ever tried to, like, a butt chug? You get drunk quick. Also can give you alcohol poisoning really fast because I don't even think it goes into the liver. The liver doesn't have time to process it. It just goes straight into your bloodstream. So, you know, if there was some sort of, tyrannical government that wanted to administer estrogen to all the males and homogenize and make docile their entire population, toilet paper, now that I think about it, is ingenious. Everyone becomes kind of like a femboy. Toilet paper and SSRIs. no one, and then they get mad like France. They're like, why is no one having kids? Guys, we have to raise the working age right now because no one's having kids to replace the work population. It's like, hey, maybe if you didn't try to give everyone soy-based product. I don't even know if any of that's true. I heard somewhere that like the pills that girls use during, now this might be a conspiracy theory, but we're getting deep now, so you're coming with me. We're this deep. So if you're here, you're here. You're locked in. We're locked in right now. So we're gonna go over a conspiracy theory about I think it's birth control. Has some chemical, but the chemical is passed through when you pee. And apparently that pee, I mean, all pee ends up in the same processing plant. But they were saying that the processing plants don't really filter out the chemicals in the birth control. So men drink the birth control stuff, and then they become feminized. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying if it's true or not, YouTube. I'm not saying if it's true or not. But I am saying that using toilet paper to administer hardcore, you know, not even a psyop. That's just like a straight up like social biological terrorism. Seems like a badass idea. Toilet paper should be considered a potentially major source of PFAS, which is a forever chemical, entering wastewater. Awesome. PFAS are a class of about 14,000 chemicals typically used to make thousands of consumer products. Make products resist water, stains, and heat. They are called forever chemicals because they do not naturally break down, and they are linked to cancer. Awesome. Fetal complications. Sweet. That's DEEC. Liver disease. Cool. Kidney disease. Cool. Autoimmune disorders. DEEC. And other serious health issues. DEEC. All of those are pretty DEEC. The study checked 22 major toilet paper brands in North America, Western Europe, Africa, Central America, and South America, but did not name the brands. The peer-reviewed University of Florida report did not consider the health implication of people wiping the contaminated toilet paper. Oh, PFAS can be dermally absorbed, but no research on how it may enter the body during the wiping product exists. Okay, so this is where I was thinking. No research has been done on this. I could start the research. How about... Okay. Here's how you research this. You get like 20 people, all specifically use only one toilet paper each, and then you record the results of how quick they get cancer. Now they all get cancer because everyone in the world dies of cancer now. I assume that's just kind of like when people say you died of old age, I'm like, oh, so cancer. Oh, you died of old age? Oh, you mean a heart complication or cancer? Is like how you die of old age now. But it's like who gets cancer the fastest. Now you have to worry about, oh, am I wiping my ass with actual chemicals? Now, Tim Dillon said this on one of his podcasts. He said, the good news is that you don't have to worry about like food shortages, like McDonald's and stuff. They'll be fine during whatever collapse because their food is chemicals. We don't run out of chemicals. So food that's food, you won't be able to eat anymore, but food that's just chemicals, you'll be able to find in abundance. Just the train that blew up in Ohio, that's food. You will eat that soon. It'll be processed for you to eat. It is food. Let's see. All right, let's move on to TikTok time, I guess. Chinese invasion. Okay, I'll play this. I always love a good Chinese invasion. So I've said this before, but when China does invade, it won't be on the ground. It won't be with tiny little foot soldiers. It will be through conquest of our political and economical system. Here we go.
A connection to the banking sector problem. There is word, as we mentioned tonight, of a China connection to the banking sector problems rattling the financial world. Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram is on Capitol Hill with that part of the story.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank could be linked to China.
It has been reported
Shocker. Guys, fill that out in your fill that out in your bingo sheet. China responsible for a major economic crisis in America. Put that, if you guys had that on your bingo board for 2023, please fill that out now. Oh shit.
Publicly.
There is word, as we
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank could be linked to China.
It has been reported publicly that SVB had a large number of Chinese investors that are there, including some that were.
There is word, as we mentioned tonight, of a China connection to the
Stop
banking sector.
replaying.
Will my banks in Oklahoma pay a special assessment to be able to make Chinese investors whole from Silicon Valley Bank?
That means American institutions could be on the hook to the Chinese.
Uninsured investors will be made whole in that bank, and I suppose that could include
like
foreign depositors.
Republicans say Treasury's move could reward precarious financial behavior.
I'm concerned about the precedent of guaranteeing all deposits and the market expectation moving forward.
This comes as investors are jittery.
Nerves are certainly frayed at this moment.
I think this will go down as the history's first internet-driven run.
Yellen tried to calm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it will go down as the world's... That guy's a genius. It will go down as the world's first internet-driven run, okay? Yes. The last run was in 2007, but it's different now. Less cringe. All right, let's go on to the news here. Oh, no, let's get off the news. Let's go to... Oh, actually, let's go to this screenshot here. I saw this. So I'm on like a chain with a bunch of other real estate people. So I saw this, and I'll read this for you here so you don't have to. The failures of both Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank has been dominating the news headlines and social media for over the weekend. The overall tone of this news is fear about the state of banking system. But there is an upside to all this. It's gonna be a boom for the housing market. Mortgage rates are already fallen in response to the bank failures and will continue to fall. Why? Because when banks fail, the short-term result is deflation. As inflation turns to deflation in our economy, mortgage rates always go down, making housing more affordable for millions of renters. So I got this sent out and they're like, hey, share this with everyone. Share this with your clients. Share the good news. It's good news that banks are failing. Share it. Run to and fro, sharing the good news. Hey, everyone, you can buy a house. Guys, good news. It took a bank, a $5 billion or a $600 billion worth bank collapsing for you to be able to buy a home. Good news, everyone. Good news. America's in such shitty shape that it took a bank collapsing for rates to come down. Hey, that's good, guys. Good news. Share the news. Spread it. Like Paul Revere. The rates are coming down. The rates are coming down. You're riding your horse. God, I hate this country. God, I don't even know. I don't even know what country is good. Because, like, you move to France and they tell you, oh, no, they tell you when you're allowed to quit working? Okay, now that's just crazy. But... like, where do you even go if not to the moon and or I don't know, 100 miles an hour into a support beam for a bridge? Like, where are your two options? The moon and 140 miles an hour at a bridge? Are those your two options in this world? You know, I guess there is a third option, now that I think about it. And I think this is the third option. These are the people that So I mentioned earlier these people. So I feel like I told you I feel like I'm the crazy one, right? I feel like I'm the one who's like why is Matt so crazy? Why is he flipping out about all this stuff? Why is he so sad about things? And you know, this video I'm about to show you is the opposite. So this is the person that's able to be happy, and this is why they're happy. I'll play it.
I got the bag. Today it's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna do what I eat in a day starting at 4 p.m. I got a pretzel and cheese.
Now, buckle in because this is a long video, and she is quite large. So, and she's starting she's starting the video at 4 p.m. God knows what she missed in the morning. I doubt that she's on an intermittent fast starting at 4 p.m.
Cheddar pepper I've never tried before.
Cheddar pepper. Whoa.
Really rich in cheddar. Mozzarella stick. Mozzarella stick with marinara. Corn dog with mustard.
Corn dog.
Keep in mind I'm sharing all these things with my mom. Say hi, Mom. Hi.
Keeping that in mind.
Sprouts.
I know.
Petco.
Petco.
I got frozen yogurt tart, strawberries, mango boba, and what's it called? Fruity Pebbles.
Oh yeah.
I got everything. Okay,
got everything.
I got Torchy's tacos. Oh no, sorry, Velvet taco, and
Torchy's. Of course, she's probably from Texas.
Panda Express.
So that looks like
First,
maybe a
cream cheese ragoon.
looks like a dozen ragoons from Panda Express.
That was absolutely delicious. Now.
So this her if you guys want to watch more of this, go to WW Foodie on TikTok.
My food.
Her food.
I got chow mein.
So now she's finally on her food.
Super greens, honey walnut shrimp, and Angus beef. I'm so excited. The honey walnut shrimp here is amazing, especially with the walnut.
I don't like how she moans after she eats too. There's got to be some weird like sexual thing to get this big, I think.
The Angus beef is next level.
Jesus Christ. She's drinking water at least, which is good.
Panda's Express chicken egg roll, so crunchy, so good.
Chicken egg roll. Yeah, Panda Express has some good chicken egg
Veggie
rolls.
spring roll.
Not a big fan of their spring rolls. A little greasy.
Now, velvet tacos.
Moving on to the tacos. Look, your day's not complete until you have your day's not complete until you eat I'm going to try to remember this. A pretzel, cheesy pepper balls, mozzarella sticks, a corn dog, frozen yogurt, about a dozen crab rangoons, noodles, super greens, which is just broccoli, honey walnut shrimp, and Angus beef. And then you have to wash that all down with not one, but 2 tacos from, I guess, what is this place? Velvet Tacos. One of them being it's called the chicken and waffles, and it's just a waffle folded in half with chicken on the inside. So that's
shrimp and a chicken and waffle taco. These are so good.
There's the waffle one. It's literally a waffle with chicken on the inside. It does look good, though. It does. I will say it does look good.
Thanks for tagging along to my what I eat in a day. Cheers.
Now, I don't mean this fat shame, but you need to stop eating, and you needed to stop eating yesterday. You need to hone it back, my sister. What is this video? Kamala Harris.
Discussion in the White
when
House.
did I get a video of Kamala Harris in here?
About what the blowback would be for approving the Willow Oil project because people have gotten quite upset about it. I think there's some protesters outside right now.
Well, I think that the concerns are based on what we should all be concerned about, but the solutions have to be and include what we are doing in terms of going forward, in terms of investments.
Any discussion in the White House about what the blow?
That makes sense. Thank you, Kamala Harris, for making sense. Finally, we did it, Joe. We did it. We won.
Back would be for approving the Willow Oil project because people have gotten quite upset about it. I think there's some protesters outside right now.
Well, I think that the concern.
All right, let's take this one step at a time. I think that the concerns are based on what we should all be concerned about. Okay.
Concerns are based on what we should all be concerned about, but the solutions have to be and include.
The solutions have to be and include what we are doing in terms of going forward in terms of investments.
What we are doing in terms of going forward in terms of investments.
Well. They've got it handled. Nah, they've got everything handled. Everything is going swimmingly up there. All right, let's play one more TikTok. This is the risk manager at SVB Bank.
Only in Philly.
Before he went to work. Like,
dude, that's like this guy's on like a crazy amount of Percocets. He's like frozen. He's frozen in the streets, like vibrating at this crosswalk before work. Rolling his down his window to talk to him.
Yo, bro. Yo, you can't go to work like that, bro.
Go to work? What do you mean? Hello?
Now he's checking his phone. This guy's definitely like some crypto guy.
Yo, you cannot go to work like that.
Hi, what's going on?
Yo.
No, it's fine. Of course.
No, I'm serious. You gonna get in trouble. I'm telling you, bro. don't do that. You're not on the phone.
I'm not gonna work, dude.
I'm trying to help you.
No, I get it. Thank you very much.
Don't do that. They gonna know you're.
This guy might even be a realtor. This guy's giving me heavy realtor vibes. Yeah. I'm coming to the closing. He's like strung off of 50 perk.
Don't do that.
Hold on.
He's talking to his lock screen on his phone right now.
Thank you very much, dude. I totally get it. Thank you. Well,
stop acting like you're on the phone. Look, the phone is off.
I love
Look
black people,
phone.
dude.
Your
It's
phone
so
is off.
funny.
I can see it.
They're not scared to call people out on their bullshit. That guy's strung off perk in the middle of the street, and he's like, dude, you gotta not go to work today, man. Oh, man, I love that. It's the world coming together. All right, we'll play one more. This is what's called a Disney adult. I've made fun of these people in the past. This is a whole channel dedicated to them that showed up on my feed. So,
hello, this is Wayne from Almost There Travel Company, and this is all the Disney Parks news for the week ending in March 3rd.
So he does the Disney Parks news every day.
2023 in a minute or less. We got our first look at the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival menu. We also got to see all the merchandise that's coming for the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
Now, when I see this, my first thought is, who is this for? Like, is someone super hyped to find out the menu for the Disney week of whatever? The first look at the Epcot merchandise. And this video had like maybe 10,000 views on it. I'm just wondering, like, it can't all be people making fun of it like me. Like, I watched this stuff. I gave it like probably 6 views because I was laughing at it. But it can't all be those people. There's people out there walking around, and of course, these are probably the people that aren't really that concerned with the way the things are in the world right now, and I can respect that. And honestly, those people that are like, those Disney people, like the Marvel people that are like, dude, it's freaking awesome, man. It's awesome. I watched Ant-Man Quantumanium. I watched Ant-Man Quantumanium, and it was freaking awesome, man. I stayed for the end. Dude, I stayed for the end, and afterwards, if you stay for 18 minutes, there's an after after credit scene. It's freaking awesome, man. It's epic. Those types of people. And then they're like the soy face. They just make the soy. They're just like pointing at the screen. Like I want to go to. I want to like infiltrate one of these like the Marvel heads and go to the movies with them, and I want to see how they react to the end credits. They just turn to you while you're in the seat and make the soy face. Like they're they're oh my god, that would be so funny. They're like, did you see that? It's Glip Glorp, the master of the universe. The master of the universe. That's freaking awesome, man. It's just like man children. Just children that I guess trauma prevented them from ever progressing from the stage where anything Marvel, or maybe it's like, maybe there's something that Marvel did, like following every episode of Marvel, just like slowly decayed their brains, or like wound back the clock on their mental age. And like in the first time they watched a Marvel movie, they watched like, what was the first one? Like Captain America or Iron Man probably. They're like, yeah, this is a pretty good movie. And then by the end they're like, dude, did you see? They hinted at freaking Glip Glorp. That's freaking awesome, man. And they're just like freaking out. Just like their brain has decayed so much. But that's what I imagine. Like this guy's talking about the loot, the merchandise at Epcot Center.
Josh Gad became a Jungle Cruise skipper for the day. We got to see food like the fold-over pizza that's coming to Mickey's Toontown at Cafe Daisy and Good Boy Grocers. We got our first teaser trailer for the Haunted Mansion live-action film.
God.
And in a case of life imitating art, Disneyland got snow. Actual, real-life snow. And lastly, at Walt Disney World, Florida, Disney's Typhoon Lagoon water...
Wait, what? Oh, God. He said, and in a case of life imitating art, it snowed.
In a case of life imitating art, Disneyland got snow. Actual, real-life snow. And lastly, at Walt Disney World, Florida, Disney's Typhoon Lagoon Water Park reopens March 19th. Thanks for watching. That's all your Disney Parks news this week in a minute or less. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
Dude, that's freaking awesome, dude. That's freaking awesome. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making it this far. If you made it this far, please share with a friend. Leave a comment below telling me what you think is freaking awesome. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye.